Something else happened today that I need to warn y'all. So Donald Trump signed an executive order declassifying all of the papers regarding the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and Senator Robert F. Kennedy. Let me explain to y'all what's about to happen. What's about to happen. In 5 or 6 years, the FBI so-called recordings of Dr. King were set to be released. Those will now be released. The FBI, who I simply do not believe, claims that Dr. King, they have recordings of Dr. King having affairs, involved in orgies. They claim that he was with a white prostitute in Las Vegas. And these were all notes. David Garrow wrote a story. No American media entity would run the story. So he went to a small outlet overseas. And there were the notes, and these notes were a part of the JFK papers at the I think Library of Congress or National Archives. And so he wrote a story based upon the notes. So Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, when he did all his videos trashing King, oh, we shouldn't be celebrating him. Let me explain to you why they doing this here. I just want y'all to understand what's about to come down. They are going to try to completely destroy the legacy of Dr. King. I guarantee you, when these papers are released and you get the recordings and all the stuff from the FBI, people are gonna say, take his name off of streets, take his name off of elementary schools. We should not have programs honoring him. We should not have scholarship programs. He was not a moral man. I'm telling y'all, don't think for a second that this executive order signed by Trump, is all about, let's just get at the truth of what happens. I'm telling y'all right now, and let me just be on record right now, in advance of whatever is released. And I'm just gonna say this here, and I remember, and I'm gonna quote my dear alpha brother, Andrew Young, when I asked him this question. I think we actually got it on tape as well in the interview that I did with him in Atlanta, when I asked him about this very thing, and he said, fuck them. Listen to me clearly. Anything that is released related to the private life of Dr. King, who was not a perfect man, no man or woman is perfect. Anything released from the FBI and J. Edgar Hoover and his COINTEL program is full of shit. They tried to get King to kill himself. They doctored tapes. They sent stuff to Coretta Scott King. I absolutely believe nothing, absolutely nothing that comes from this FBI as it relates to Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and J. Edgar Hoover's name shouldn't even be on the FBI building here in Washington, D.C., because he was a racist, corrupt, evil son of a bitch. And that should be the reaction every Black America gives when anything comes out about Dr. King released from this federal government and from this FBI. Greg, go ahead.
Agree with you. Of course, this is the only reason that these documents are being declassified. We know Robert Kennedy Jr. believes there was conspiracy to assassinate his uncle, and I agree with that in concept. I don't think James Earl Ray killed Martin Luther King, and I don't think those shots came from the grassy of the school depository building. And there's a lot of scholarship on it, and people will argue, take sides. But let's be crystal clear about the King files. It is exactly what you said. Now, I will say though that I think John Hoover's name should be on the building because the FBI is a criminal enterprise. I don't think that for the same reasons that the MAGA people think it. I think that it's a criminal enterprise because as a person of African descent, it has never done anything other than attack and persecute and prosecute us. I'm glad to see Leonard Peltier home after decades, but Assata Shakur still can't come back. And so, but that having been said, what you have just said, folk, listen to everything tonight, but listen very carefully to this. We need to brace for this because, I think about some of the most brilliant thinkers, theologians we have, everybody from Jeremiah Wright to Vashti McKenzie. And, that world is a world that is populated by human beings. And we often hold our people to standards that other people don't. And I'm not saying we shouldn't, but I'm saying that we don't allow our people to be human. And Dr. King didn't make it 40 years old. And I'm glad you evoked David Garrow. David Garrow is a first-class researcher. He's done so much important work. Anybody get his book Rising Sun on Barack Obama, you won't look at Obama the same. It always cracks me up when people say, yeah, I'm critical of Obama. And people opening their mouths and have never read one word of one sentence, one paragraph, or one page of anything about Barack Obama. You read David Garrow, you look at the whole world differently. And even Jonathan Ives' recent book on King came out a couple of summers ago, but it doesn't displace what Martin Luther King did. Unlike the young girl lover Matt Gaetz, unlike the convicted sexual predator Donald Trump, unlike damn near the whole Republican Party, Dr. King gave his life for everybody, regardless of color. And so I'll just end with this, and I just want to underscore what you said, Roland, and really, really, really support what you said, every word of it. And please, people, when these tapes are revealed, and they're only revealed because they want to take who they think is the champion, the central figure representing the moral standard of African people, which is the only reason there is a funky criminal enterprise called United States of America. Let's be very clear about that. And I don't think that it's going to take a century to claw back, because I don't think the United States is going to be here in a century, not in the current form. Not in its current form. I think it's inevitable. That's why they're pulling out the stops now. Steve Bannon is very clear about this, and I join him shoulder to shoulder and say, you're absolutely right, Mr. Bannon. Y'all don't have another play but this. This is the only play you have, and it's going to fail. It's going to fail. Anytime the damn ADL is supporting Elon Musk, who is openly supporting the AfD in Germany, a damn neo-Nazi party, it's very clear that everybody going for themselves. So guess what? We are too. But when they come for Dr. King and the way they're going to come for Dr. King, any one of you Negroes that runs out and talking about taking down a statue or rejecting Martin Luther King, I want you to keep that same energy for every one of these sexually frustrated, late at night punk deviants who are running this government and running industry. Because if you think you can measure Martin Luther King by a standard and not measure them by the standard, then you are betraying not only our people, you're betraying your own humanity.
Support the work that we do. Join our Bring the Funk fan club. You heard what we just talked about there. Folks, I can't reiterate this enough. Listen to me clearly. I cannot reiterate this enough. When you've got technology companies running scared, when you've got legacy media not doing their job, when you've got black-owned media that is disintegrated, now is more than ever for us to have independent media that cares about the truth, that is willing to say what needs to be said. So when you support Roland Martin Unfiltered, this show, when you support the Black Star Network, you're not just supporting me, you're supporting the other shows. Our goal is to add 2 more shows this year. We want additional shows. We want more weekly and daily shows, because we want to be able to speak truth to power. We want to be able to say what is necessary where other people are scared. And when you are scared, when you're looking over your shoulder, oh my God, that advertising contract is not going to come in. Well, guess what? A lot of these major ad agencies, they're not even supporting us anyway. You know, in 6 years of doing this show, Group M hasn't done a damn thing with us. Publicis hasn't done anything with us. You've got Horizon, you've got all of these folks, they haven't done jack. And so we are calling it like we see it, and we're speaking truth. And unlike some of these other so-called progressives and people who believe in truth, I'm not running around trying to kiss MAGA ass and kiss Trump's ass. I won't be going to Mar-a-Lago, not for a damn thing. And so this is about us being able to speak truth. So when you support this show and this network with your resources, that is exactly what is happening, because we are trying to build something that is bigger and broader, and actually it has the courage to say what needs to be said, even when it makes other folk uncomfortable. If you want to contribute giving Cash App, use the Stripe QR code. This is it right here. And if you are listening, simply go to blackstarnetwork.com to check it out. Also, if you want to see your checking money order, some of y'all old school, we understand that. See your checking money order to P.O. Box 57196, Washington, D.C., 2003 7-0196. PayPal, R. Martin Unfiltered. Venmo is RM Unfiltered. Zelle, Roland at RolandSMartin.com, Roland at RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. And again, folks, we've got some 4 million social media followers. If only 20,000 of our fans contribute at least $50 each, which comes out to $4.19 a month, 13 cents a day, that's $1 million. It allows us to be able to continue to build, to add these shows and do the work that's required. So your support is needed. So please join our Bring the Funk fan club today. If you've not already joined, if you have given to us in the past, please renew your commitment, because it's important that we support Black-owned media, because Black-owned media matters.